This is the Wayne Ayers Podcast. The Wayne Ayers Podcast. Woohoo! Time to wake your ass up for a blessed day.
Percy Jackson, Olympians season 2. I think it was the finale today, right?
It was the finale today, yes.
Yeah. How does it feel to be in that franchise? Because that's legendary.
It's been wild. I mean, like it films here in Vancouver, so I've been hearing about it, but also online. It's the fans are so passionate, but to be part of the franchise is I'm very thankful, to say the least. Yeah.
Nice. How was like the audition process like for that? Like, did you have to send in a self tape or did you have to go in person? Like, how was that?
I actually did a self-tape, actually like right beside where I'm sitting right now at home. It was just one self-tape, and then I found out I booked the role, so I was very thankful.
Nice. How was it? Like, what was like? Where were you at? What was your reaction when you found out you got the role?
My agent actually texted me saying like to check if I was available for the dates, and I was like, obviously I'm available. And then that's how it usually is for the audition process. And then he texted me saying I got it, called me, I called my mom, she was freaking out. My friends who like are obsessed with the books and the show were freaking out. But yeah.
No, that's really dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
Hylla is like a beloved character in the franchise. Really, did you feel any pressure at all, like stepping into that role?
Yeah. I mean, like the books are amazing and the fans are so passionate. And at first I was very, very excited, but then after a minute, you kind of realize like the pressure that you feel going into any character. And I just wanted to do right by the show. And I did do a little bit of research on Heroes of Olympus and understanding like where her trajectory goes, but understanding that right now when you first see her, she's not quite there yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. How's like playing like the gentle side of her, really?
It was actually like, really fun because um doing so much research I saw that okay like she has to have this like kinder side as a foundation to who she becomes to make it more interesting and also to follow the books truthfully, and it was actually quite fun to see that more like loving caring side as she takes care of Percy and Annabeth when they first arrive at the spa, so it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, speaking of the spa, that looks insane. Like, how was like that on the set? Like, what was that like? Because that looked crazy. I was like, wait, everything looks.
Yeah, to be honest, when I first like was gonna arrive at set, I thought that it might be a green screen. Like I was preparing myself mentally to imagine what the views could be, what the spa could look like. And I get on set and it was like a ginormous spa and it was beautiful. I was in awe for a second just looking at everything. And it was fully built, like the whole hallway, the spiral staircase. It was stunning. Yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely would like me personally. I would take something off the set because that looked crazy. Like, I would try to take like something. I don't know what it would be, but I'd be like, yeah, that's coming home with me. Do you ever get the
Yeah.
urge to do that on sets?
To be honest, I've actually asked for wardrobe pieces, and from my last two films, they have given me like tailored things that were customized to me, and I got to keep some of them, like dresses and jeans. And I'm very thankful because they find all these great pieces, and I'm like, I don't know how to get these pieces. So yeah.
Yeah, how was it like working with everybody too? Because you know,
It was actually really fun. Leah is such a personality. She was so sweet and kind. She was showing me all like her favorite go-to crafty snacks, and Walker is so mature and like very gentle and just very knowledgeable about like what he's doing in his craft. Like I really, really respect him so much. I told him he reminds me of like a young Timothy Chalamet. Like he's very well poised and put together, and I could totally see it.
oh nice, that's a good compliment, Loki. Oh, do you have any like funny like behind the scenes like moments at all? Like, did anybody like do anything crazy while you're on set? Or like, can you give us one for the fans?
Yeah, when me and Leah we were eating this like yogurt snack, and she was like, I have to go show you something. And this is in between takes, so we probably shouldn't have done this. But she's like, I want to go show you like where we train and stuff, and to see Dior. So we traveled, and I thought this was gonna be like around the corner. We traveled through stages through lots with our AD chasing us, and I was like, we need to like go back. And she's, no, 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 it's fine. And we she showed me like where they train, and Dior was actually fighting, and that's where I actually got to meet her. But and then we had to run back because we had to film our scene. But that was like a fun experience that she took me on. It was cute.
Nice. No, that's really dope. Where do you what are you excited most to bring to your character really? Because like your character is gonna really like pop off hopefully soon. Like, what are you excited for like most? Like from reading like the books or hearing from stuff. Like, what are you excited most to do with Hilla?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know like what plans they have for Hylla, but I do know that like she gains a lot of strength. She goes through a lot of trauma and a lot of hardships in her life, and I would hope to like give that woman empowerment, that strength that a young woman has when she does face some difficulties. So I think that without speaking too much far ahead, like I think she is a very strong character, and to see her gentle side now, it's quite a cool difference in where she turns.
Nice. And you're in Vancouver now, right? Shooting season three?
I'm not, I'm in Vancouver, but I am not shooting season three.
Oh, okay. So are you?
Yeah.
Is there any word about you being in season three at all, or no?
I think that I can't speak on that. I don't know if I can speak on
Okay,
that.
my bad. I don't want you to get you. I don't want you to get you in
Yeah,
trouble.
you're fine.
Fans are really obsessed with everything that the show and everything. How has that reaction been like between you and the fans?
I am very appreciative of like all the love that I've received. I think going into such a passionate fan base, it can feel quite intimidating at first. Like I knew how loved the books were and the show, so I wanted to do right by the character. And I was so nervous when the episode was going to come out, episode 5. And then I got the response online, and it was so kind and sweet. So I was just very, very thankful, and I try to interact as much as possible, liking comments, or I try to like every story that I get mentioned in just to show that love back because I understand this is for the fans. It's for who appreciate the show.
Okay, I like that. First of all, I mean, I want to like get to this next point. You were in Sabrina as well, which is another dope franchise, and now you're in
Mm.
Percy Jackson as well. So I want to know if you kind of like, which universe would you live in for a week if you had to choose?
Wow, that is such a good question. Yes, I played Lizzie on The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. And if I was in my own characters, or if I could just live on in the planets of
You personally, like you, wherever you personally, not your characters.
Ooh, that's such a good question. I think I would love to have like the powers and whatnot of like the witchiness on Sabrina, but I think the journey that you can go to the different worlds on Percy, like if there's like a balance between the two, that would be really cool. But I do really love how they're both like supernatural, I guess I would say, and they're fantastical. So I think either or would be very, very cool to be in and live in for like a week. Yeah.
You also yeah, as you said, you play Lizzie as well. If Lizzie and Hella met, would they be friends or enemies?
I think Lizzie's such a like happy, easygoing person that she would love the Hilla now. I think they would get along very well because I think Hilla's very kind and sweet when we first meet her. I think she'd be very scared of the Hilla who becomes Queen of the Amazons. I think she'd be very like, I don't want to mess with her, but they would be definitely friends.
Nice. Oh, I also want to know, you think you're gonna are they gonna ever shoot the scene with you and your sister or a Hilla's sister at all?
I hope so. I think Reina is such an important character to Hylla, and she protects her so much that I do hope they get to that point. Um, but I'm not sure. I've not heard. So we'll have to look out for that.
Okay, I'll get away from Percy Jackson questions. I'll get to more like acting questions for you.
You're totally
Uh,
fine.
I want to know like, okay, starting out as the actor, do you remember like your first ever audition?
Yes, I do. It was for, and this is when I first started out, I didn't know how to memorize lines. It was for a show called Riverdale, and it was for Midge Clump, I think. It was my very first audition. My heart was in my stomach. I was very nervous, but it was also such a big show at the time, so I was very intimidated to be even reading the lines. I read with my agent, and he was so kind to like do it so many times until I got a take I was happy with. But I was very scared.
Wait, oh, that's dope. Didn't you get that one? Or am I tripping?
No, I was not. I didn't play Midge. No,
Oh,
I'm on Sabrina.
oh, okay. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm sorry.
You're
All right.
totally fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have you ever walked off like a set thinking I absolutely killed this scene, and then you watch it back, you're like, Never mind." Because sometimes I'll be like looking back, like, man, I did a podcast, I absolutely killed it, and then sometimes I'll be like, okay, never mind. I didn't think it was that good. Have you ever did that before?
Um, yeah, I filmed a film. It was for Tubi, and I shot it in Mexico City,
Oh, nice.
and I had food poisoning while shooting, so I was like very much unwell, and I had a huge monologue, and I thought I crushed it. But looking back, I wish I did so many things differently, but I was so out of it at the time. So I think I could have done a lot better. But yeah, of course, I think that's why sometimes you don't want to watch your own stuff because you feel intimidated to like your performance, and there's always ways to make it better and to explore the character more. But I think it happens very often. Yeah, too often.
Nice, nice. I want to know what is something that like people, regular people wouldn't know about actors. Like, because some people just think, all right, you guys just show up, you say some lines, and you skedaddle, and it's like the easiest job in the world. But I feel like it's way more difficult to into that.
Um, I think, yeah, there's so many different layers. I think it's like any other occupation that, actors that I know in my life, and most actors I would say are very dedicated to their craft. So like whenever I book a role, I am like fully in it. Like I don't have a social life pretty much when I'm filming a movie or anything. I don't drink or do any recreational drugs. I really try to just like focus on the craft and like get full hours of sleep. Like I need like 9 or 10 hours just to really take care of my body, going to the gym. And I think that like you think it's all like just fun and like partying and doing all these things. And I think a lot of the time, like you're filming for 12 hours and you go home and then you have to memorize lines for the next day or get some sleep, that there's not room for like having a social life, especially if you're really dedicated to what you're doing. And most actors I know are very like, yeah.
Okay, I like that. My next one, I want to know, do you have like a dream genre that you want to work in? 'Cause I know you've been in the supernatural kind of field already. Is there like a dream genre that you really want to do, like a rom-com or such and such?
I have been really wanting to do a psychological thriller. Like, I really want some type of mystery, Silence of the Lambs, like cop role, like something really dark. Um, I've been really wanting to do that. I haven't, I think they're hard to come by and they go to the top of the list for those roles, but that's something like on my dreams. Also, something like a biopic or just something really indie, I think would be really fun.
Oh, biopic. Who would you want to be in a who would you want to do for a biopic?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone who I could play or looks like me, but maybe the fans will have an idea for that because I'm not sure yet. I've been thinking and I'm like, I don't know.
Okay. No, yeah, biopic. That's okay.
Yeah.
I also indie routes. I feel like indie films are like literally the last couple of years, my favorite films been indie films, and I feel like they're really low key underrated. I wish there
Yeah.
was more indie films like every time, but like, is there like any like indie? First of all, like, is there like a character or anything that you would love to bring to life?
Like a character that I know of already that exists.
Yeah, like just from anything that you like, man, I would love to play that.
That's a really good question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. A character that I know of, I think any like this is a far-fetched thing, but maybe even a Disney princess character, I feel like that would like really help my like inner childhood. I'm not quite sure. Um, I think when I get auditions, I get inspired by seeing myself in the character more than anything. Like when I get an audition, I'm like, okay, this I really relate to this. I could see myself playing this role. But I don't have like a character out there that I'm like, yeah, I'm not quite sure yet.
Really? I thought you would have one like just like, man, when I grow up, I want to be like. Snow White or like whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I think my childhood self is like, oh my God, I would love to be a Disney princess. I was obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. I was obsessed with Sailor Moon at one point when I was a kid. Like there's so many like things growing up that like I'd love to be a part of. I loved Harry Potter. Um, I love Twilight. Like there's a lot of things growing up, but now I'm like when I get a tape or an audition, I get so inspired by the roles. Um, yeah.
Okay. I want to know also, like, I know you mentioned psychological film that you would love to do. Is there like an actor or actress that you would love to be in that psychological film with?
I just watched season one of True Detective. I know I'm late to the game, but I love Matthew McConaughey. Oh my God. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I also love Jodie Foster, Silence of the Lambs. Like she's so good. Just, yeah, anything in the psychological thriller genre of actors, they're just so dialed with their craft. I really look up to them. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I know for every profession, some people give you like the greatest advice, and then some people give you like the worst advice. Like, can you tell us the best and worst advice you ever gotten for acting?
Wow, that's a good question too. I would say the worst advice. Even if it is worth like bad advice, I think I try to find a way to find like how I can make that useful to myself. I don't think I've really received bad advice, but for good advice, I think it's just like really focusing on like what you love about your job and like the craft and just understanding that it's not going to be given to you. It's going to be a hard fight and that, you have to really work hard um to see like the success or like the bookings and I encourage any like actor or actress that is like growing in their life to like really put in the work, put in the hours. It's like any other job. It takes, 10 years to be a doctor. It takes 10 years, not 10 years to be an actor, but you have to put in the work. So yeah.
Oh, yes, I like that. That's a good answer. I want to know, like, if you could work with any three directors, there's so many legendary directors. If you could work with three of them, who would you want to work with?
Wow, you're just firing out great questions. I actually have a vision board there with about 20 directors, but we're not going to go there. I love Sean Baker. I think Honora was so beautiful and Tangerine. All his movies are so stunning. I think he's incredible and supports indie filmmaking. I really appreciate that because I think it also gives opportunities to like actors who are up and coming. And he allows for a lot of improv and has like strong female characters. Like there's so much about him that I'm like, I just really think he's phenomenal. Um, I also really love David Lynch. I know he's no longer with us, but I have a David Lynch book right here, actually. I think he's so great. I love his like cinematography, his colors, everything about him is so great. Um, and I also love Osgood Perkins. I think he has a really cool eye. He is also filming a lot in Vancouver. He The Monkey was so good, and my friend was actually in it. And I think he's a phenomenal director. Obviously, the greats like Christopher Nolan and Martin Scorsese, those are like I would love a dream to work with Denny or anything. But yeah,
Okay,
I
I
gave
like
you like
that.
6 answers. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. Maybe hopefully they hear this and you get cast in one of their projects.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Oh, I want to also know, like, because we're in like the era of remakes. Is there a movie, a classic movie that you'd love to be in a remake of?
I almost booked a remake and I can't even say what it is, but I was very upset when I didn't book it. It's a very big franchise. But I can't even speak about that. Yeah, I think I would love to be in any I think actually I could say that. I would love to be in the scary movie franchises. I think that was like a really cool audition I did and I didn't end up getting like I can say that. I think there's such a funny the Wayans brothers are so hilarious and I think it's so cool to do like a horror mixed with like comedy bit. Very like satire, like dark humor type of thing. Um yeah. I would also honestly like Marvel movies are so great. I love Iron Man, but I know, yeah.
Okay, Marvel. All right. Is there a certain character at Marvel you thought about, or you just if they give you the call, they give you the call?
No, I think I'd just be thankful for the opportunity to be there. I mean, like, yeah, who wouldn't want to like be a part of a great universe? But yeah.
Okay. Okay, if you could start any television series right now, outside of Percy Jackson's, of course, which television series would you like to star in?
I really admire Euphoria. I think Euphoria is stunning. I think the acting is really great. It's a very complex show. There's so many layers to it. I'm a huge Vampire Diaries fan. I watched all of Vampire Diaries like twice over. I don't know if I'm freezing right now.
Not Gary, Vampire Diaries. I'm a originals
Hello.
person. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, it cut out for a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, I love Vampire Diaries. I'm more of an originals person.
I love the originals too. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
watched
that's
the originals.
yeah, I love the
Yeah,
Michaelsons and everything. They're dysfunctional family.
yes, Klaus, Rebecca, they're so great.
Yeah, no, Elijah,
Elijah.
yeah, I love the whole originals.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's dope. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, I want to know like, okay, if you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years of your career?
I hope in 5 years I am telling stories that are meaningful and like impactful to like cinema, but also like to people's like lives. I hope I inspire people in anything that I do. Um, and I hope I get to have one of my scripts come to life. Like I am writing and wanting to act in the films that I write, and I hope one of them comes to life in the next 5 years.
Oh, nice. So you're right. You'd be like writing and producing as well too.
Yeah, I just did a short film where I helped write and produce and got to act in it, and I hope that leads a trajectory of like doing a feature film one day.
Nice. Is that gonna be any like? Did you guys submit it for any film festivals or is just out?
We just wrapped like 2 weeks ago, so it's not quite there yet. We're in the editing room right now.
Nice. That's dope. Is there any other project, like any other things you're writing about?
Yes, one is a psychological thriller.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. So we're trying to go climb up that mountain slowly.
Nice. How's when did you start getting into writing? Have you always started, or have you always been a writer, or when did you get started?
I Growing up, I always wrote poetry or like music, and poetry was something that I was very fond of growing up. And then during COVID, I think I took a screenwriting class or two, and then just to like actually understand screenwriting from an actor's perspective. And then I fell in love with it. And during COVID, I had so much downtime, and I wanted to still keep my creative brain like fulfilled. And I just started writing like a TV series, a feature about my mom's life, and then so many things just inspired the next. And like I noticed like art kind of reflects life a little bit, whatever the quote is. And I just started writing about things, and I fell in love with writing. So yeah, I do write scripts.
No, nice. Okay, if you could describe your writing style, what would it be?
Um, I think I leave enough room for the actors to play. I think I don't know if that's a style, but and not giving too much, but also setting up a world that hopefully resonates with like someone reading it to bring it to life. Um, it's definitely leaning in the thriller, psychological thriller genre for sure on everything, I think, besides like one thing. But yeah.
Okay, so like when you do this psychological thrillers, like how's your twist? Because you have to have a great twist.
Yeah, that's the okay. I think that for I don't know how to do this. So this is just me speaking from like what I think is correct. But through the research I've done, or I read a lot of scripts, like movies that I'll read the script and how they got there. And like one of them was A Quiet Place, and reading, I was like, how do they do no dialogue in a script? And reading that and seeing like how you can do twists and turns with no dialogue, I think it kind of taught me, okay, like it's about like the momentum and like what is set up in the script, like how can that pivot and be a 180 in another direction. And I think what I've tried to do is like understand your beginning, but come up with your ending earlier on so that it kind of like flows in the middle. I don't know if that makes any sense, but um yeah, thinking about the ending a little bit earlier on and that twist and how you can set that up better for the audience to like really feel that.
Oh no, I kind of agree with that. I feel like once you have your ending, you know where you want to end with, then you can really get into the adds in the twists, adds in the storylines, add in the characters.
Yeah.
That's like once you have your ending product, like, okay, this is how I want this to end with, then yeah, I think everything else is easier to place in. I agree with
Yeah.
that. No, I
Yeah.
understand that. No, that makes totally sense.
Do you write?
No, not really, but I mean I understand it. Like from a movie's perspective, like I would hope they would do that.
No, apparently that is not the case. I watched Lost, and apparently this is just an interview I read. I was so fascinated with like the whole series. I love it. And they wrote like the first season without really knowing an explanation for the end yet, and they kind of just kept going with it. And I was like, that is so cool because yeah, there's so many questions they left unanswered, and by the end of it, it all kind of came together. But they didn't know if they were going to get picked up a season two or a season three or four. So. Yeah,
That makes sense for a series. I think for a film, I feel like it would
very
be
different.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a series like, all right, you can't just end it off like you just gonna be one season, so you kind of have to just
Yeah,
leave room for a cliffhanger
for
and all
sure.
this stuff. But for a film, like, okay, that's what I want to. Unless you're trying to do a sequel, I mean, it all depends. I feel like because you might want
Yeah,
to do a sequel for a film too. So
very true. That's
nice.
true.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's dope that you writing everything. I'd love to see like actors get into the writers and producer bag really. I feel like it'll bring in a better performance because like, all right, this is how I know what everything's supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to act like this and da da da. That's really
It
cool
really
seeing.
gives you like perspective on like a writer's mind, or a lot of the times directors do write as well. And I think having that insight of like, okay, what are they trying to say in the scene? It kind of just educated me as an actor. And then I kind of just loved writing has become like therapy or therapeutic for me because you can kind of like dive into a world and release any type of feelings you're feeling. So yeah.
Yeah. So with your writing process, do you like just like start something and then like, all right, I'm about to, do you ever like watch a movie and then come back to it? Man, I'm about to add something like this or like how is that like? Or you just naturally just flow?
Oh, I get so inspired by watching films. I try to like watch, my goal was to watch one film a day. That's really hard, but a few films here and there a week, to really get inspired by different directors or like writers from all genres, honestly, or like t time eras. And I think it's really important to like watch the greats and see what they do and really like take from that and see like why things were so that they resonated with audiences. So. Yeah.
Nice. Would you ever be interested in directing?
Yeah, I would. I think I don't want to jump too far ahead with like my career, like just my knowledge and really trying to be a sponge. And like, I love acting so much and I do really love writing, but acting is like my main thing that I really enjoy. But I think storytelling is something I'm overall just passionate about. So I think to direct one day would be so much fun, and to work on a project with other actors or some friends would be a pleasure, truly.
Nice. Okay, so are you like with your trajectory, are you just doing like a bunch of short films so you feel like, all right, cool, I got this out the way, and I could do like a feature or like whatever.
I think it depends on what the world kind of presents itself as to me, because you never know what you're going to do exactly. If, you know, someone sees some of my work and wants to work with me, or collaborate, or a director or anything, and wants to write or produce with, like, I am so open to collaborating. I think that's how like great art is made. Um, so I don't really have an answer. I think it just depends on like who the other creator is or who is part of the projects that if it is just me doing a bunch of short films, or it is the opportunity of a feature film, like I would love to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Also, I know you mentioned that you're wrote about your like your mom's life. Would you ever consider making like a what are those things called? Like the little series documentary kind of stylish films?
Yeah. I actually shot a little bit about her life already on a camcorder because I really wanted not to spoil anything, but like just like a camcorder partially about things I wanted to have like some B-roll footage already saved while certain actors are younger and then have that maybe used later on. Um, but yeah, I don't know if that answers this question really.
No, I can, it does. Does your mom know about this? Like, do you like? Does she like? Is she like full supporting it? Kind of like sometimes you're talking about like even when I ask my mom about stuff like, oh, what did you do in the past? She'd be like, I'm not telling you or whatever. Like, how is that? How is that like?
She She's very humble. She's very like, you don't need to make a movie about me. And I think she's like a rock, like a superwoman. I think her whole life and like what she has accomplished and who she is. I'm just so thankful to have her as my mom. And I think that she inspired me so much as a human. And I would just love to like showcase like all that she's done in her life. So she's kind of like, don't make the movie, make it when I'm not here anymore. And I'm like, no, you need to like, I don't know, I want people to hear her story. So
You gotta give
yeah.
people their flowers when they're here.
Yeah, and she is supportive. I think she's just like focus on other things, but yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, lastly, I just want to ask you, if you want to say anything to your fans, what would you want to say to them?
I love them so much. I think like they're so kind. Um, I think I was very nervous going into like this whole experience and like the love has just been like so amazing and I try to interact with as many as you as possible and I just really I'm very thankful, truthfully. Like just to be a part of the universe and the show. I think everyone's so fantastic. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming on. I appreciate your time. I can't wait to see what you do with your writing and hope you get some feature films and going on everything. I would love to see it in the future.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. You're so kind and great at asking all these lovely questions. So thank you for your time.